guys, welcome back to another DvZ map update video. Yes, DvZ update number 3 on, update number 3 on DvZ map number 3 is what I was getting at. Yeah. Anyways, so this time what I've got to show you is kind of basically what I said I was going to have last time, which is Main Street and a bit of the alleyways. Yeah. So first off, Main Street here, you got a bit more diverse bunch of buildings. Still got these kind of fancy, nice buildings like that one, that one, that one. You got a lot of those, but then you also get a bit of these more poor buildings in here. You know, these aren't the best buildings. They've got like their paint plasters all peeling off of them, kind of thing. Yeah. And also a bunch of alleyway entrances and a little bit of propaganda, you know. It's a blank wall. You got put a poster up there. That happens all the time. But yeah, that's basically Main Street. It's just this is the main path between 1st and 2nd. So you're coming out of, as a mob, you're coming out of here, or maybe you spawn out here. I don't know what Nisovan's gonna do exactly with it, but say you start in here, you come out here, and you run up this big, wide open path here. So obviously this is a very advantageous path for dwarves because it's just a big, wide open space, not really much cover for mobs or whatever, and a good amount of room to maneuver. So that's what Main Street is. It's very dwarf favored. But that's where the always necessary multiple paths come in. So, as a monster, you come out there, you take a stroll right on over to here, back through here. If you recall, it comes back out here to the sewer, and on the path between Mob Spawn and First Shrine, you get this sewer path, so you would go to First Shrine by going this way through it. So there's actually a bit of doubling back as a mob, which doesn't really happen too often on DvZ maps, so you don't go backwards through a path that was previously there. I don't know. I can't really think of any other maps that have really done anything like that. I mean, it's not really a significant thing. Oh, look at me, I'm reusing space. But I don't know, I just thought it was something interesting to point out. I didn't even really do that intentionally to do something special, but that's just kind of how the map flowed. But yeah, you come into these alleyways, and these... Oh, god damn it, I need to... Yeah, as I was saying, this is one of those tall buildings that has like the plaster with the paint coming off, so I need to throw in some brick here and make it, you know, less just plain, you know. I did that for most of the buildings. I must have missed this one. Anyways, so in the alleyway here, you've got 3 different kinds of buildings. You've got this building, which are also out on Main Street, as well as these Tudor-style houses, and this house right here. I don't know what the theme of this house is, but it's in the alleyway here. And this alleyway kind of, it starts as this one path here that I've walked up to here, and then it splits right here, and I'm going to go left at first. Here you can see some of the back sides of the buildings on Main Street. I'll fly up a little bit later and you can see that, yeah, these are the back sides of Main Street buildings. So you got all your buildings like this, and then you come out here, and it merges into one area. The other path comes around here, which I'll show now. So if you weren't to take a left there and you were to take a right, you come along here, run into this wall with this tiny little 4-block wide choke point. And then you come up here onto this little raised area and back down here into the open area here. And then it merges, and then you've got this kind of last little pathway here that goes all the way out to here, which there's the clock tower, gold bank place, and the second shrine right there. So this is the alternate path. As you can see, it's much more narrow than the actual main street, and a lot more kind of twisty and turny, as much as I could really fit into such a tiny little space. And also the elevation of the path, it's really pronounced on this side. But something I was going for when making this side of it is that there's a lot of terrain elevation changes. Like, so here you can see there's kind of a bit of a slope up here, then a really steep incline, and then it immediately goes back down, and then it goes back down some more, and then you go into here, and once again here you've got this kind of split staircase path thing, where if you take a right you get this long pathway with a kind of not a gentle slope upwards like that just goes straight back, or you've got this pathway here, which is just kind of like a steep, tiny little staircase right here that comes up over here. So, kind of interesting terrain in terms of elevation. On this side, it's not. There's not as much of that. It's pretty, basically flat here. It comes down a block here for just a little bit, goes back up a block, goes through the tunnel, goes back up 2 blocks. And then back down 2 blocks, so that side's not as intense with its elevation changes. And also, because, this is actually the best, in this alleyway, this is probably the best place for dwarves to actually defend, because why would you defend those 2 paths when you can defend this one path? To counteract that, this alleyway kind of breaks out into Main Street a bit right here. And right here, you can see you're kind of at the back end of Main Street, so if dwarves had built a defense right here, what did I write here? I'm a skinny building. Yes, you are. Yeah. So if dwarves built a wall there, then if you're not defending the alleyways correctly, you can have monsters coming out of here. So there's a lot of paths for monsters, basically. And that's one of my concerns with alleyways. Now, I'm okay with this one alleyway here. Like, I think this will play very well for a second shrine, to have all of this alleyway here in addition to Main Street right there. But originally when I was building this, I was going to build out an alleyway on this side, and I wasn't even going to make a video until I had fleshed this alleyway out also. But as I was kind of building this and wrapping it up and getting a feel for the paths on this side, I've kind of realized that this is a second shrine. Now, having 3 paths to the shrine, that's okay on a first shrine, because there are a lot of dwarves, they're at their strongest, and monsters are at their weakest because they have no members. But by second shrine, either several dwarves have died, or there are more doom events, or even just more people have joined the game later on, so that they've just become monsters immediately. So the odds are balanced a bit against the dwarves at this point. So I haven't built out this alleyway, and I probably won't. And that kind of brings me to the main point of this video, is after saying all that, and that's what I'm pretty confident about, I am open to discussion on the matter of adding a second alleyway. So, as such, I'm going to be putting a straw poll down in the description, basically saying, should I just go ahead and do the second alleyway over there? And you can just say yes or no. And that's all you need to do. That's all. Just say yes or no as to whether or not I should have an alleyway. Also, if you have more to say about it than yes or no, Like you, particularly those of you who vote, yes, I should just go ahead and do the alleyway. Please say why in the comments. Write up a comment saying the dwarves can handle it. Even though it's second shrine, they can hold that many paths, especially with Main Street or whatever. I don't know. I was just kind of making that up. But if you think it would be balanced to add on a second alleyway, a third path, then yeah, please let me know, because I am interested to hear what you have to say. But yeah, even that's pretty much that's a lot of work right there. But I did go ahead and build one other thing over here that I'd like to show before I end off this video. The chunks would be so kind as to load in. Thank you. Yeah, that's right. I built the main doorway to the kingdom or city, I guess. Maybe not the main one, but definitely one of them. Big old stone door here. Yep, and then the castle's going to be there. That's going to be nice and imposing. Yeah, so that doesn't go anywhere. It's just bedrocked, and it's mostly there for looks. Kind of gives this pathway purpose, kind of why it's here beyond going up to the castle and whatnot. So yeah, that's pretty much the other thing I've built since last time. I did actually take this terrain and kind of originally it just kind of cut off there, so there's a bit of a cliff, 2-block cliff right there, but I kind of brought it out and stretched it over here into the cathedral's area a bit. But besides that and all of this stuff over here, that's all I've done basically since last time. I mean, it is a lot. It really is. But with that, I think that's going to do it for this video. Next time, depending on what the results of the straw poll are, or what you guys have to say, I may or may not put an alleyway here. If I don't do that next time, I'd imagine probably have the last of that wall here fleshed out in terms of buildings. Maybe work a bit on the mob spawn side of things. Or maybe I'll just jump into the castle. I have been getting quite a few ideas on how the castle's going to work. How the castle's going to work out in terms of what it's going to look like and how that's going to affect gameplay. It's going to be pretty cool and imposing, if I do say so myself. I am excited for what I'm doing here. And you should be too. Yeah. So, as I said, with that, that's going to do it for this video. I'd like to thank y'all for watching, and see you next time I do an update.